What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Welcome to the Wednesday episode. I have a very fun list for you today, and it pertains to a question I got recently. You know, I've made a few episodes talking about the one watch collection. If you spend any time in the watch collecting world, if you are on Instagram or on YouTube or anything, inevitably you'll come across the hypothetical: if you could only get one watch, what would it be? Or what would be the perfect one watch collection? What's a watch that does it all? All these questions that you have to kind of mull over. Well, I've made a list of 10 one watch collections. Does that make sense? Let me explain that a different way. I found 10 watches that I think anyone would be very happy to have, and that they could really kind of do it all. Maybe you'll understand when we start talking about the watches, so let's just go ahead and do that. It's 1:04 p.m. Let's get down to business. Okay, so the first perfect one watch is the Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot, and I've said it a million times. I'm fortunate enough to have gotten that watch when it was below $1,000. I think I got it for like $875 brand new, like 3 or 4 years ago, but now it's jumped up around like $1,300. Still an incredible watch, okay? It's simple enough to be very, very versatile. Like, it doesn't have any weird design on the dial, doesn't have a crazy complication. It's just a simple black dial pilot's watch. Throw a leather strap on it. You could wear it in a formal situation, or wear it on a bracelet. It could be sporty, or do what I do, and oftentimes I'll wear it on maybe like olive drab military Cordura, or maybe a NATO strap. I kind of like the military aesthetic. I think right now I have it on some repurposed, or I should say reclaimed, vintage Swiss leather made by Man Cave Straps. Man Cave Leather, thank you so much for sending me that strap. I absolutely love it. But yeah, this watch, again, 41 millimeters, that's kind of right within that sweet spot. Very, very easy to read, very visible, legible dial. Threaded crown, 100-meter water resistance rating. Of course, it's Oris, so it's Swiss made. I believe it has a Sellita automatic movement, so you're getting hacking hand wind. Very smooth sweeping second hand. I think I mentioned threaded crown, 100-meter water resistance rating. Display case back. I mean, honestly, it's such a durable watch, and such just a really, really precisely detailed watch, and it's just the perfect example that a simple watch doesn't mean that it's lacking detail or quality finishing, because again, there's just a ton to look at without it being too busy. So very versatile, very tough, and honestly, for what you're getting, it's quite affordable. So first watch on the list, Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot. Next up, the Seiko Sarbo 33. Now guys, come on, like, hello, if you don't know about this watch, what are you doing? Another very, very simple, very nice everyday watch. If you only could get one watch, you could do a lot worse than this. You're getting an in-house 6R automatic movement, hacking, hand wind, sapphire crystal. I don't think it has a threaded crown, but it does have a 100-meter water resistance rating. You're getting a display case back. Wear it on the bracelet and it'll wear similar to like a Rolex Oyster, or throw it on a leather strap and have it as a formal watch. Next up, a watch that it might be kind of unsuspecting at first, but I think it could be a very, very good option for the one watch collection, and that's the Citizen EcoDrive ProMaster Tough. Now guys, it's one of the larger watches on the list, coming in at 42 millimeters, but it's very, very simple. It's not too busy and not too crazy looking. The case has some kind of angular crown guards, but again, it's a very simple black dial watch, and the only thing that really pops out at you is that red second hand. But again, 42 millimeters, only 11 millimeters thick, thanks to that very cool Citizen EcoDrive movement. Again, it'll be powered by any light source, natural or artificial, and you're getting a 200-meter water resistance rating, so this is definitely a watch you do not have to baby at all. And again, I think it'd look great on a leather strap, a NATO strap, or on the bracelet. Just incredibly versatile. So if you only needed one watch, hello? Next up, maybe a controversial pick, the Seiko Alpinist, the Sarbo 17 to be exact. And here's why I say this, okay? Well, first of all, depending on when you're watching this episode, it's December 2019. So we're right on the cusp of getting the new Alpinists. And again, they're re-releasing a white dial because there already was a white dial Alpinist in the days of yore. But then again, the Sarbo 17 made the green dial famous. Then there was the SPB 089 blue dial, and now they're also releasing a black dial and then another green dial. But we're going to talk about the Sarbo 17, the green dial. Okay, I think this is a great one watch collection. Okay, green is a lot more versatile than you think. Okay, you do not need to match your wardrobe to the color of your watch's dial if you don't want to. I tend to wear a lot of olive drab, a lot of kind of khaki and browns anyway, so I think that you know, the browns and the green dial, it kind of just works. So if you're like me and you wear muted colors often, I know this is kind of a vibrant color, but if you like, you know, grays, browns, greens, and stuff, then the Alpinist is perfect for you. Anyway, but here's what I'm getting at. Okay, this watch is incredibly versatile. All right, it can be sporty enough if you want to wear it on a bracelet, and it's incredibly tough. Okay, shock resistance, 200 meter water resistance rating, threaded crown. It's made to go in the mountains, guys. Come on, it can handle your daily commute to the office. But again, you don't have to baby it. It'll be water resistant. It'll handle whatever you need to throw at it. It looks gorgeous. You wear it on a leather strap. It can be formal. People don't realize how much these Seiko Sarb cases tend to wear very, very similarly to a Rolex Oyster case. Now I'm talking about the Sarbo 33, the Sarbo 35, and the Sarbo 17. Yeah, again, very easy to wear watch, and I personally think it's gorgeous. So if you only had to get one watch, the Alpinist is incredible. Does a whole lot of things. Number 5, I believe we're on number 5, is... This is a watch I don't own, and man, would I love to own it. The Rolex 1016 Explorer. Now guys, when I think Rolex Explorer, I think of this watch, okay? I do have a Rolex Explorer 2 16570, the 40 millimeter variant with the red GMT hand. That's the one to get when we're talking about Explorer 2s, in my opinion. But when it comes to the Rolex Explorer, the one that started it all off, how can you beat a 1016? Now the 1016 is on my list of the perfect one watch collection. The perfect one watch collection watch. That's so crazy. Well, this is on my list because again, it does a whole lot and it's simple. Okay, again, this is gonna be a very expensive watch nowadays. Dude, I remember like, I think it was around 6 years ago, you could find these watches for like well under 10 grand, and now you're lucky to find one under 20. It's just crazy. But yeah, again, Oyster case, threaded crown, at least 100 meter water resistance rating. How can you beat nowadays the perfectly aged patinated hands? It's just a gorgeous watch, and again, how can you beat a simple 36 millimeter Oyster case? I don't know, but I don't have one of these. It's going to take me a little bit to find one of these and be able to afford one of these. So until then, we're going to move on to number 6 on the list, the Rolex Date 1500. Now, this is going to wear fairly similarly to an old school Rolex 1016. This has got a 34 millimeter Oyster case, threaded crown. It's simple. It's not too in your face. It does a whole lot of things. I'm wearing it on a Rolex Oyster bracelet, but I've worn this on a leather strap, and I've used it as a dress watch. When I first got it, it was kind of my dressy piece, and yeah, it does a whole lot of things, and I don't really have to baby it because I get this thing wet nowadays and it's perfectly fine. So as long as you take care of it, it will take care of you. And man, I think this is one of my absolute favorite Rolex reference numbers, and you're getting a date complication. So for a daily watch, if you only had one watch, what complication would you want? In my opinion, the date, right? Because I rarely forget what day it is, but I very often forget what the date is. So yeah, date complication, that's where it's at. Next up, number 7 on the list of the perfect one watch collection watch, the Grand Seiko Snowflake. Now guys, this watch is another watch that does a whole lot of things. I don't personally own one, but I have a good deal of experience with this watch. I've worn them, I've looked at them, I've gone to the opening of the Grand Seiko boutique when they first opened here in Rodeo, and I got to play with one of these snowflakes. Just a gorgeous piece. When you think of Grand Seiko, you immediately just think finishing quality. And again, this titanium sporty watch, it's just everything you could ever want. Again, spring drive movement, that beautifully textured dial. It looks like you're looking at the top of a freshly covered snowed tundra. That blue spring drive second hand. It's just incredible. Supreme finishing, one of the coolest complications ever. Threaded crown, 100-meter water resistance rating, display case back so you can see all that beautiful Grand Seiko goodness on the inside. Just a beautiful watch. Grand Seiko Snowflake. If you only had one watch and that was it, you'd be doing very, very, very well. Again, leather strap, wear it as a dress watch, leave it on the bracelet, it can be sporty. Gorgeous. Next up, number 8, I believe, another maybe controversial pick, the Rolex Submariner. Specifically a vintage one, guys. If you can find one with the true slim lug 40mm case, like my 16800, I think that's one sports watch, one diver that you can really get away with wearing in any situation. What's more classic than a Rolex Submariner? I don't know. Again, Sean Connery kind of made it acceptable to wear a Submariner with a tuxedo, so if he can do it, I mean, if it's good enough for James Bond, it's probably good enough for me. Number 9, this might come out of left field actually, the Heuer Monaco. Now guys, this is one of the only good watches TAG still makes. This is an automatic chronograph, perhaps one of the most prolific racing chronographs ever. It's got a 100-meter water resistance rating, and you don't really have to baby it. It's just a solid watch. And yeah, it kind of might be a little out there when you're looking at some of the color dial variants. It's sporty, but again, I think if you put that on a leather rally strap, you can get away with wearing it in a formal situation. And I think that's a more versatile watch than people give it credit for. So the Heuer Monaco has to be on my one watch collection watch. And what's funny is there are other chronographs I would have loved to put on this list, like my Omega Speedmaster Professional, Man on the Moon. That would be an amazing one watch, right, to have in your collection of one watch. But the thing is, you wouldn't really want to get that one wet. So that's why it's not on the list, and that's why this Heuer took the place. And last but not least, something you guys maybe have not seen yet, the Serica WWW Field Watch. Now guys, right here, it's a little bit out of focus because I'm in focus, but right there, Man and His Watch. You know that book, the book I talk about all the time? Well, what if I told you the person that authored that book made this watch, the Serica WWW? Now, I'm not gonna talk about it too much today, but this watch with its flat brushed bezel, nice domed crystal that just comes up above that flat brushed bezel, a threaded crown, 100-meter water resistance rating, very, very simple dial, no real font or lettering on it, just incredibly simple and tasteful, a 37.7mm case. It is amazing. You can either get it with an ETA mechanical hand wind or a Sellita automatic. I'm gonna do a full review on this watch soon. Matt, the author of that book, again, I'm talking as if I know him, man, I wrote to him on Instagram and he actually replied, which is incredible because I gush over his book. It's just incredible to meet like your heroes and have them not disappoint you. Like, it's incredible. He actually seems like such a cool guy. And I was like, hey, this Serica, the Field Watch, it seems to be right up my alley. Do you think I could review one? And immediately he was like, yep, email me. And so I emailed him and then boom, they showed up right to the office. Just incredible. I have 4 for you to look at. But again, this kind of takes the place of the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. This is right around 38mm, but you're getting the threaded crown and the 100-meter water resistance rating with all of that classic styling. Again, it was sent to me for review. I have 4, and I'm very excited. This is going to be a little teaser, but man, I don't know, this could be a contender for the one watch collection. But I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about this? So, and stay tuned for that review. But guys, I'd love for you to join in and make a list of your own in the comment section, and maybe, you know, I can do other installments of this as I learn about more watches. But yeah, we went over 10 watches that I think, if they were your only watch, you'd be doing very, very well. But what do you think, guys? Leave me a comment. I want to hear from you. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode and maybe you learned something, you had a laugh, maybe made you a little emotional, and you want to support the channel, well, there's a bunch of ways to do it, but the easiest way is just to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon and watch the content. If you want to go above and beyond, I have a bunch of affiliate links in the description right now, because at the time of filming, it is the holidays 2019. I have a bunch of watch-related stocking stuffers. Again, when you click those links, it takes you to my Amazon affiliate store, so you help me out a bunch, or you can check out my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe, share this with everyone you know. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time, I just tell it. Real quick, if you enjoyed this episode, then do not worry, the fun doesn't need to stop here. Check out these recommended episodes that are going to be popping up on the screen anytime now. Also, take a moment, check out my brand new channel, the Time Away channel. It's where I talk about everything outside of the watch world, some of my other collections, some of my other hobbies. And if you're not interested in any of that, don't worry, just stay right here and I will see you right here. Because I never leave. I am trapped inside of this camera.